This is Bay of the Joe Padula Show, live Monday through Friday, 3 to 5. Absolutely.
Joe Padula Show. Absolutely. Oh, I feel like re-enlisting. Well, I wouldn't be re-enlisting. I'd be signing back up, I guess, at this point, right?
Don't do it, Joe.
No, I want to do it. I want to do it.
Why? No, you don't.
Yeah, I want to go and fight the war on coronavirus.
No.
Yeah.
You want to go hang out in Africa?
Africa?
Yeah, that's where they've been deploying lately.
Yeah, I've noticed that, Daniel, and I wouldn't mind checking out Africa.
I don't think. Well, actually, a lot of the dudes that went, like some of my guys, once I moved over to the academy, they were literally in civilian clothes.
Right?
And partying most nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting stationed in Djibouti. It's an actual.
Stop.
It's a name of a base.
Joe.
Well, it's a naval
is.
base.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you
Djibouti.
gonna join the Navy? Yeah.
No.
No,
There
they-
you
When you go to Africa,
Uh-huh.
a lot of the guys are getting stationed in Djibouti.
in Djibouti.
Djibouti.
Right.
I'm done. Oh my God.
I'm gonna open up a new base
That's,
called
that's facts.
the base I'm gonna open up is Base Boof. Right.
Base boof.
Okay.
The motto's gonna be just boof it.
Fort Boof. Army of Boof.
Stop.
There's what was it? What was the there's strong and then there's Boof strong. Right. Well, I'll tell you what. I got to get to the bottom of this one because there's a 5th Special Forces soldier being criminally charged for training too well. This incident took place at Fort Knox, Kentucky, and the soldier appears in court on Monday. So the wife of the alleged joins us to go over his side of the story. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mrs. Hasenbein. Good to see you. How you doing, Desiree? All right?
I'm great. How are you?
All right, not too bad. Not too bad. So, real quick, Master Sergeant John James Hasenbein. Let's just served over 20 years in the Army so far, right?
Yes.
Highly decorated, according to the records that were pulled. Has over 45 months of combat deployments. And currently with the 5th Special Forces Group, so Master Sergeant. It's an E8, by the way. E stands for enlisted, in case you're not tracking. Well, and it's also payday for you soldiers out there, so have fun. I know the bars are going to be happy. But he and his team, they went through this role-playing training exercise at Fort Knox. This was last year, March 22nd, 2019. Correct,
Yep,
Desiree?
Correct.
And according to the reports, following the role-playing scenario, Master Sergeant was criminally charged with an alleged assault that occurred during the training exercise. Now, in case you're not tracking, you have these. When I say role players, they really do make it the training as realistic as possible, to the point where not only just you have people dressing up and speaking languages of foreign lands and the whole bit, but also scenarios and houses and environment. They really try to make it as realistic as possible. So, but according to the charge sheet, so Master Sergeant John J. Hasenbein, well, he's accused of wrongfully and recklessly engaging in conduct. He's assaulting one of the role players, who was Mr. Altamini. That's the guy's name, who was playing the role of a high-valued individual, an HVI.
Yes.
HVI. Daniel, I haven't said these words in a long time. Yeah. So in that scenario, he was playing the role of a terrorist. And according to the charge sheet, Hasenbein allegedly held the muzzle of a pistol to the head of Ahmed Altamini, and then allegedly hit him in the head repeatedly with the muzzle and the pistol, likely to cause bodily harm, grievous bodily harm. And during the exercise, they say that Hasenbein, charged with striking the role player in the head and torso with his fist, feet, knees, and inflicting substantial bodily harm to the guy, including a traumatic brain injury. Also, nasal bone fracture, blunt facial trauma, and a scalp hematoma. All right, so Desiree.
Yes.
Now that that's what's the charge? What's on the report? What is Master Sergeant? What does he say happened? Bring us there.
So basically, leading up to the training incident that week, the night before, his command and the company F3A, in essence, pulled them all together and said they were being too lax with the role players.
Okay.
And said they needed to treat it as real world and do not worry about the comfortability of these role players because that's what they're paid to do.
Okay. So, saying, hey, you guys got to step up your game.
Right.
All right. We're going to war here. You got to act like we're going to war.
Yes.
Okay.
We're saving a hostage. You have X amount of minutes to do so. This is the next mission. Treat it as such.
Okay. So, now with that being said, you also said that that there was also been met with some other issues, including harassment and witnesses in this case being tampered with. What happened there?
Absolutely.
What is that about?
So we have harassment started at the gate when his Lieutenant Colonel Hockey put a bolo illegally beyond the lookout. Illegally went behind command's back to get this put on him and put it in his statement that every time he enters posts, he's to be removed from his vehicle, frisked, spread eagle, and searched every time that he enters posts.
What's the purpose of that?
He was afraid that he was going to do something to him.
Okay. Now, who filed the charges? Was it the guy, the role player guy? Was it the role player, the unit that hires or commands the role players?
No, the company and the role player didn't bring on charges at all. It was the command.
So the 5th Group Command. From Master Sergeant.
Yes.
Interesting. How long has he been around with that?
Oh, years and years and years.
With that unit.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, they decided to bring on charges almost a year later.
Does your husband? I mean, with over 20 years. I mean, more than 2 decades of service here. Does he have anything like this on his record prior to?
No, he is the go-to guy. When they need him to get to places, get things done, that is their boy. They call him.
Why? What do you think this is?
Well, there was a 15-6 that was conducted.
15-6, which is?
It's an investigation that after, if someone gets hurt during a training or during any exercise,
right.
They have to file, do an investigation on it. The 15-6 came back that command and the company F3A were the ones at fault. They didn't have the role player and protective gear, and there were lots of things that were not followed. They didn't have rules of engagement on what they could and could not do in the realistic scenario training. So somebody had to take the fall, and they wanted my husband to.
Now, when you go to court, where is court going to be held at?
Court is going to be held on post. It's anywhere from
at Fort Campbell. At Fort Campbell, not at Fort Knox. Where?
No.
Interesting. I wonder what that is about.
Because we're here.
Okay, because you guys are here. All right. And then the court itself, lawyer-wise, how does it work out with in the military when there's a case like this?
Well, they issue you a government-issued lawyer, which ours did nothing. So we actually hired and obtained 2 private lawyers, and we just fired our one that was issued to us, and we hired another one that's actually very great.
Right. I mean, not lawyerwayne.com quality, but I'm sure just fine. Right.
I don't do that.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I don't do that.
I probably know the guys that are, though.
Right. Well, I'm going to open it up to the rest of the people here in the studio. Hot Mess Jess, you guys were at a rally yesterday, and what was the rally for? This was outside of what, Gate 4?
Yes.
Yeah, and what was the rally all about?
It was to bring awareness to the situation. Desiree paid out of her own pocket. She had over 600 flyers made up, and it gave a brief explanation of what was going on post.
Okay.
And we handed out those flyers, and people were actually stopping traffic so that they could get one because people really want to know what's going on with this story.
And I'm looking at one of the posters made here. 5th Group Command threw Master Sergeant Hasenbein under the bus to save their own butt, but it doesn't say butt. But right. But yeah. So now, Des, what was the reason for for public awareness?
Well, this whole case has been hush-hush. They tried to keep it very quiet and do a lot of things behind closed doors.
This happened a year ago, and this is first I'm hearing of it. Right.
Yeah. And so now that we're down to the wire, I'm not going to keep quiet anymore, and it's not only that. How many other people does this happen to who can't afford lawyers? It's going down on Fort Campbell.
A lot.
Now, have you got any backlash from command or the post for going public?
They actually will not comment, say a word, or anything.
Right.
They've had a lot to say this whole time, but now they're
Do you think they're saying stuff behind doors?
maybe. I don't care.
And
They don't
Joe,
care.
I
What's
do
up,
wanna-
Miss
I do
Jess?
want to bring up one thing that a lot of people haven't paid really or talked about or brought attention to. There was a safe word. He was given a safe word, and the people in that training exercise asked him, did he want to use the safe word? The actor never used it.
Okay.
He was in charge of. He had a specific role. He knew what to do. He was resisting them. He wasn't supposed to resist them, but he resisted them. Broke out a flex cuff multiple times, and this is a big dude. And so the guys are trying to subdue him, and meanwhile they're down to minutes trying to find a hostage, and he's just refusing. So, and my husband didn't actually repeatedly hit him with a gun. He was pulling security on him because he had to send the rest of his team to go and find the hostage.
Okay.
But you know,
What happens if he gets convicted?
they are looking to throw him in Leavenworth for 12 months, lose all retirement, all benefits, and throw us out on the streets.
Did you tweet Trump yet?
I have reached out to Trump,
Okay.
tweeted Trump, emailed. I've done.
He's pretty good with that stuff.
He hasn't
Yeah.
responded yet.
He has
Yeah.
not responded yet.
Lawyer Wayne, as a lawyer, you hear this situation. What are your
I got
thoughts?
so many questions.
Go for
Both
it.
legal and this whole thing, like you only heard about it recently. So this kind of training, it sounds like they're doing, I've done live action role playing. Of course, we're pretending to be, knights fighting dragons and things because I'm a huge nerd. So it's funny hearing this, but it makes sense to me. How do you get a guy and say, if you're taking care of a terrorist and they break out of their restraints? So it sounds like they hire people to put on, this kind of thing and will walk your husband through that kind of stuff. So he has, so when it happens in real life, it's, he's sort of had a chance to play act it before.
Right.
And it sounds like this. It sounds like a private company,
Yes.
basically hires actors to pretend to break out of their handcuffs. So they have to sound like they were having to wrestle this guy down and stuff. And it's all.
And Daniel, you've been involved with training with the role players, right? With your military
is
career.
Common? Is that
Yeah. I spent three and a half years at Fort Polk, and they have.
That is the JRTC,
Yeah, JRTC.
Joint Readiness
all
Training
they
Center.
Have is role players down there. These
Right.
people sign waivers.
Wow.
Right.
I heard
That's
like
why.
that-
That's
sign
more than likely
waivers?
why he didn't press charges.
Okay.
I have
I heard like
experience
gun
with-
ranges and stuff. You have experience with that? No.
I have experience with group command, and
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I have experience with role playing. I said, good for you, Daniel.
no. I group command will do. No, I can't.
So is this a court martial or is this a federal criminal offense? What are they charging
This
him?
is a court martial that's charging him with aggravated assault because he had a gun to his head, which was issued by the military to do the training event. But,
Yeah, I assume the gun wasn't loaded.
it was not loaded.
for
It was
a
not
training
loaded, right.
exercise.
So question is were they gonna do an Article 15 and then he denied it, or asked for the court martial, or did
No.
it just go straight to court?
They went straight to court martial.
Interesting.
Interesting.
The general actually issued GOMARs to the key witnesses.
Which is?
It's a general letter of reprimand.
Okay.
So when the investigation was done and conducted, the key witnesses said he never said real worlds, but the general actually issued a GOMAR stating that the role player did say real worlds, and issued them GOMARs and held
So
it
that
over
was
the-
that was a
That was a safe
safe word.
that was the safe word, real world 3 times. And so the
I would have chose Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
yeah, why they
just-
chose real world, I
yeah.
don't know. But when they issued the GOMARs, they basically held it over the key witnesses' heads and said, "You will testify to my truth, and we'll offer you immunity to do so. And if you don't, you could be held, or you could be in trouble for your original statement."
Well,
That was it.
what's the deal with the witness stuff? What's going on with you had people that were not coming forward, but now are coming forward?
No, they came forward originally,
Uh-huh.
and they were threatened their careers that if they continued on what their original statement was, which was favorable in my husband's defense.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, they actually
Where's
just made a
the-
ruling on it
Yesterday.
yesterday.
What? Too bad.
No, it just
Just
makes
spit
me
it
angry
out.
because, like, I have a lot of respect for group guys.
Right.
I know many of them. I was married to one.
Right.
And command.
Okay. All right.
Where is the role player?
Yeah,
I
that's,
assume they're going to have them for trial.
yeah, they're gonna have to be there for witnesses, I'm sure, right? Or
Yeah,
or
we've
testimony.
requested him as a witness.
Right.
yes.
Interesting. Well, stay tuned. Maybe we get you guys back in when this is all said and done.
Yeah, it'll be all week. It's expected 5 to 8 day trial. So
Okay.
come on out if you want to come support him.
Yeah. Okay. So
We'll be there all week.
and it'll be at Fort Campbell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't forget, you got to check in and make sure when you do, you spread them. Right. Spread them. I can't believe they want to make a spread every time he goes in.
Yep.
They actually pulled their
Bay?
kids out of the car in the
What do
cold
you
to do that.
What do you make of all this, Bay? Something sound fishy? That's what I thought.
And
That's
the
what I
company and the company now has a $245 million contract.
I
with
assume
the
they video
government.
these things, right?
Well-
They supposed to.
Because I want to watch.
They're supposed
Now I'm
to,
interested.
but,
Maybe
you know.
I don't. Maybe these aren't public. But
A
Interesting.
lot of times.
No, they're public.
What are you talking about? The trial?
like videoing the role playing stuff.
They don't always videotape it. I mean, if one of his team members had a GoPro, on his
GoPro or
helmet,
something
there's
on.
that.
Well,
Maybe.
no, actually, the company had what's called an observer controller who was there video recording, and it was their job to
supposed to.
stop the training scenario
Yeah.
if it got too far.
Daniel, your time at Fort Polk.
Yeah.
I mean, the cameras are everywhere over there,
Oh,
right?
for sure. Well, JRTC is a little bit different.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
how
that's
shit
true.
Work, stuff works.
Yeah. Ooh.
But
Stuff.
yeah. But down at Fort Polk, there's cameras everywhere the whole time because they use it later in the AR.
Right,
I
right.
would assume
After action review.
they make you watch your own footage later and like, well, here you
Uh-huh.
should have done this.
Yeah,
And this.
it's like football. It's
Yeah.
like day after football. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Interesting.
crazy.
All right.
amazing.
Very
We're,
interesting.
we'll keep you up to date.
I'm really sorry that you're dealing with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
it's all right. We got this.
It makes me angry, and I can't go because I'll go to jail.
Hey, I'll go
Like-
with you.
Oh, please go.
Shut up.
Please go. Do
If they
everyone
arrest
do
you, make
Daniel
sure
a
you
favor.
yell
Go.
Real world 3
We'll
times.
call you while you're waiting if we get arrested.
There you go.
All right, coming up
No.
next. What is your safe word? No, I'm just kidding. But, we can do that though.
No, we're not, Joe.
But coming up, love is in the air.
No.
But does it smell good? That's right. Let's find out as we ask a couple questions about each other to find out if they even know each other. Yeah, couple Tattoo Betty, Danielle Barbeau. We're going to reveal this all next. Oh, I can't wait for these answers. Yeah, we'll do a little readjustment in here. Make sure to share it on your timeline here on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
Salutations! This is Casey Bryant with Local Clarksville. Don't forget to download our app to find local places to eat, shop, and play. You're listening to the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.